Hello, my lovely students. I am your ninth grade teacher, Erhan Koşar. Today, we will study passive voices and all its tenses. Yes, first of all, do you remember we talked about present passive, present continuous passive, simple past passive, and also past continuous passive. Now let's analyze all these four tenses with the passive voices are valid. Yes, for present passive, as an example, candies are loved by the children. The active one is children love candies. And for present continuous one, the active sentence is Jack is drinking a cup of tea. The passive form is a cup of tea is being drunk by Jack. For the simple past one, active sentence is I made a cake yesterday. Or the passive form was a cake was made by me yesterday. And lastly, past continuous passive. Yes, the active sentence says she was planting roses when Shyla came. The passive sentence is the roses were being planted by her when Shyla came. Yes. Now it's time to talk about what time to talk about present perfect passive, future passive, and also past perfect passive, and lastly modus. We are gonna study all these ones in our lesson now. Firstly, before starting to these tenses and models, let's remember pronouns. Yes, let's remember pronouns. You know our subject pronouns I, he, she, they, we, you, and also the object forms are me, him, her, them, us, you. These are the object pronouns in English. Example, my mom called my sister. This is an active sentence, but when you turn it into passive form, my sister was called by my mom. Okay, the object is the subject now. Active voice means the subject is doing the action, but the passive voice means the subject is receiving the action. There are some examples. Let's make some practices. Subject or object pronouns, choose the correct ones. My mom cooked dinner for my or for me. For my brother and I or me, the correct one is as you see here, me. My brother and I or me played basketball. You know that it's the subject position. You have to use what? I in this example. Yes, future passive. What is it? What is future passive? Now it says that something will be done by someone in the future. You know that there are two future forms in English. One of them is will, and the other one is, as you know, that it's be going to. As an active sentence, she will write a poem. Yes, for the passive form, a poem will be what? Will be written by her. Or another example is you won't receive a letter. The passive form is a letter won't be received by you. Okay. For be going to form, as an example, they are going to feed the cats. This is an active sentence, but the passive form is the cats are going to be fed by them. Another example is the police are going to investigate the case. The passive form is the case is going to be investigated by the police. Yes, these are the what? These are the future forms of active and also passive sentences are valid. Now we have practice part here. Will be going to active and also passive forms. Let's see. Yes, for the first one, it says that I will take the horses to the stable. Yes. It means that this is an active form. We are gonna do what? We are gonna change it into passive. Let's start it. Yes, what is our object? Here is the object. Okay, let's take the object, let's make it subject for the passive sentence. The horses was our tense, as you see here, will is used. The horses, do you remember what was the formula? Will be verb 3, will be past participle. In that case, the horses will be taken to the stable. Okay, that is that. And for the second one, here's a passive sentence. We are gonna do it, change it into what? Into active. The window is going to be broken this afternoon. It means that someone is gonna do it, and the person can be he or she. It's optional. He or she is going to what? Going to break the window this afternoon or whatever. Number 3. Now there's an active sentence. We are going to change it into passive. She will visit her grandmother. Yes, that's our object. As you see, it means that her grandmother will be the subject of the passive sentence. Her grandmother will be what? Will be past participle verb 3 will be visited. Okay? If you want to add, you can also add by her. There's a passive sentence. English is going to be studied by Mike. Yes. This is the agent, as you see here. By is used with as an agent, and this person will be our what? Our subject. Mike. Yes, here. Mike. Yes, as you see here is be going to form. Mike is going to study what? Study English. Yes, everybody. Number 5, he's going to buy a new car. Let's change it into passive form. Here is the object form. A new car is going to be built. Yes, going to be built. Okay. And there's also one passive sentence. I will be helped by her. Yes, here is the object. When you change that object agent into subject form, her refers to what? She. Okay. It means that she will help me. Okay. That is the practice section with feature forms of active and also passive sentences, everybody. Now let's study present perfect tense. Present perfect passive. What is present perfect passive? It says that here something has done by someone at some time up to now. Okay, let's make some sentences. He has completed the work. That is an active sentence, as you see. What is our object? Object is the work. Now we are gonna change it into subject for the passive ones. As you know, you have to start to the sentence as a subject form. The work, yes, has been completed by him is the passive form. Yes. The important section is here. As you see from the examples, if you want to make sentences by using present perfect passive, you need to use what? Have, has been plus verb 3. Yes. Have, has been, past participle form, or for the negative ones, haven't, hasn't been, past participle. Active sentence says, I have made some cookies. Okay, let's change it into passive, everybody. Some cookies, you see that here is the plural form. Because of that reason, you are supposed to use what? Have. Some cookies have been made by me is the passive form. Or, she hasn't delivered the letters yet. Yes. Here is the letters. Yes, it's again plural. The letters, and also the sentence, active sentence is negative. Be careful here. The letters, yes, what are you gonna do? You are gonna do the sentence negative, the passive sentence negative. The letters haven't been delivered yet. It's the passive form over there. Yes, let's do the exercises together. Let's do it. Put the following sentences into passive voice. Yes, what's our tense? It is present perfect tense. Yes. Tom hasn't signed the contract. Let's start it. What's our object? The contract. The contract. Yes. Is this affirmative or negative? It is negative. And what is our subject? Is it singular or plural? As you see, it's a singular. The contract hasn't been, don't forget it, signed, hasn't been signed. By whom? By Tom. Yes, that's our agent who does the action. Number 2, Dr. John have treated all the patients. Yes, that's our object. All the patients is now the subject position of the passive sentence. All the patients have been treated by whom? By Dr. John. Okay. Number 3, our salesman has sold all the cars. Okay. Now all the cars have been sold. Have been sold by whom? By our salesman. Number 4, the surgeon hasn't, be careful, this is negative, hasn't performed the operation. Yes, the operation yet. Now what are we gonna do? We are gonna take the operation. The operation, yes. Will it be active or affirmative or negative? It's gonna be negative. The operation, as you see here, hasn't been performed. Yes, performed by the surgeon yet. Yes, everybody. Now look at the example. It says here that, let's see, what about questions? Yes, there are some types of questions. Let's see all these ones. How do we make questions in passive? Has Thomas written a book? This is an active question form. Has a book been written by Tom? This is a passive form of question. Okay, using present perfect tense. Now, the first one says, have the policeman caught the man? Okay, what is our object? The man. Okay, it means that you are gonna take, yes, put or start the sentence with an auxiliary one. Okay, because of the subject position of man, you are supposed to use has. Has the man been caught? Has the man been caught by the policeman? Okay, this is a question form or passive. Or has the cat drunk the milk? Yes, this is again our object, and also as you see, this is a single uncountable noun. Because of that reason, you are supposed to start with has. Has the milk been drunk? Yes, being drunk by the cat is the question form of present perfect passive, everybody. Okay. Yes, past perfect passive. Yes, what is past perfect? First of all, let's analyze it. You see the timetable here. Here is the present, okay? And also this side is the future, and this side is the completely past form. There is one action here, and there is another action here. As you see, if there are two actions in the past, okay, if you are trying to make sentences which action happened before or after, you are supposed to know that the action which has occurred before is the past perfect. Then the second action is, don't forget, simple past. Again, I'm repeating, here is past perfect, and here is everybody simple past form. Okay, if there are two actions in the past, and the first action which is happened is the past perfect, and the second one is simple past, don't forget. Now, and also here it says that something had been done by someone before some time in the past. Okay, now the examples, let's analyze the examples. The dinner had been cooked when Tom came home, or all tickets had been sold out before. Okay, the meals hadn't been made before we arrived, and also the little boy had broken the window. This is active sentence. Yes, the window, yes, this is the passive form, had been broken by the little, yes, boy, little boy. Okay, this is the passive form, everybody. Look at the sentences, write them in passive voice. Now we are gonna do all these ones. Yes, I had done the dishes, the first sentence. Or the second one, they had met many people in the morning. He had eaten pizza, she has studied English. Yes, now there are 4 sentences. Let's change them into passive form. Yes, the first sentence is I had done the dishes. What is our object? The dishes. Okay. The dishes. What was our formula? Try to remember it. The formula was had been past participle verb 3. Okay, don't forget. The dishes had been. What is our verb? Yes. Do turns into done. The dishes had been done by me. That's the first one. They had met many people in the morning. Okay, let's find the object many people. Okay, we are supposed to start to this sentence using object. Yes, many people. Yes, had been met by them in the morning. Okay, number 3 says he had eaten pizza. That's so easy, a short one. Pizza had been eaten. Okay, that's all. Number 4, she has studied English. Okay, the object is English, as you see here. English had been studied. Okay, that's good. For the next page, everybody, the passive voice is used to show interest in the person or object that experiences an action rather than the person or object that performs the action. Okay, you see the tenses here. Present simple, active and passive form, past simple, active and passive form, such as she cooks the food is cooked. Okay, this is present form. She cooked food, past form, the food was cooked. Present continuous, she is cooking the food, the cook is being cooked. Past continuous, she was cooking the food was being cooked. For future one, she will cook the food will be cooked. For going to future, she is going to cook the food is going to be cooked. Present perfect, she has cooked the food has been cooked. Or past perfect, she had cooked the food had been cooked. Okay, these are all the tenses, okay, that you learned up to now. Now, passive voices with modal ones. Okay, what are we gonna do? We are gonna study the modal verbs. Passive voice with modals. Yes, rule, object. The modals are may, might, can, could, must, should, or have to. Okay. Then the formula is be at past participle. Don't forget it. Past participle, verb 3. Okay. Now let's look at the examples. Passive voice must be studied. Okay, your problem can be solved, or the contract will be signed, or football should be played. Okay, your final report has to be submitted. Are the examples for the modal ones. Yes, choose the correct option. Now, active or passive. Let's do it. The cookies can eat or can be eaten. As you see, the cookies cannot do an action because of that reason. The right answer is can be eaten. Number 2, the flood might destroy or might be destroyed the city. As you see, the flood can do an action because of that reason. Might destroy is the right one. This is an active one. The first is passive. Be careful. The elevator shouldn't be used during a fire. Okay, elevator. You know the elevator. Because of that, it should be what? It should be a passive one. Number 4, this food has to be put in the fridge. You know that food cannot do anything. This is a passive form. Number 5, you must win or you must be won the competition. As you see, there is a subject pronoun here. Because of that subject pronoun can do an action. You must win the competition, an active sentence. Number 6, spaghetti. Spaghetti can't eat or can't be eaten without a fork and knife. Spaghetti can't do an action. Because of that, this sentence should be passive. An exam may give or may be given by our teacher. Do you think that an exam can do an action? No. Because of that, that is an passive form. An exam may be given by our teacher. Lastly, a new method could develop or could be developed by scientists. A new method could be, of course, developed by scientists. Yes, up to that time, I tried to explain, describe you what passive is, and also we have also studied all the tenses with passive verbs and plus modal verbs. Everybody, see you for the next lesson. Bye bye.